Is she the biggest draw in women's tennis right now?
Yes.
Is she bigger than Sabalenka? Is she bigger than Coco?
Dude, it's crazy. She's having the same effect that Fonseca was having, like, on the men's side last year in Miami.
It's like Fonseca, but I think it's bigger than Fonseca.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Like, the Doha, like, crowds were insane for her last week.
Yeah.
Correct.
She's definitely one to watch, obviously because she's so good, but just for the atmosphere. You want to tune into her matches just to see what it's like on the court.
There's got to be like a little jealousy maybe from some of the women. The girls coming in, she's not top 10, biggest.
Sam Querrey is not whispering. He is not hinting. He is not casually tossing out a hot take for attention. When Sam Querrey starts speaking with this level of conviction, people inside the tennis world stop what they're doing and lean in. Because this is a man who has lived the tour life. He has battled on the biggest stages. He knows what it feels like to walk into a roaring stadium and what it takes to command one. And right now, he is making a declaration that is sending shockwaves through women's tennis. He is pointing directly at Alex Eala and saying something that many fans were thinking but didn't expect a former top pro to say out loud. He believes she is the single biggest draw heading into upcoming WTA tournaments. Not top 3. Not top 5. The biggest. Period. And he is daring anyone to challenge that statement. That alone should make you pause. Because when a former ATP star elevates one player above an entire field of champions, you have to ask yourself, what is he seeing that others are only just starting to understand? And before you scroll away thinking this is hype, stay with this, because the reasoning behind it is even more fascinating than the claim itself. Querrey is not building this argument on potential. He is building it on reality. The crowds are different when Alex Eala plays. The energy shifts. There is a tension in the air before she even walks onto the court. Tickets disappear faster. Conversations online explode days before her matches. Fans travel across continents just to witness her compete. That is not marketing. That is magnetism. And here is where it gets even more intriguing. The comparisons are not small. The experts around this discussion are going as far as suggesting that when it comes to pure drawing power, Eala is operating at a level that even Aryna Sabalenka has not matched.
It's a slam, it would be like one of the biggest things in the world.
Yeah, correct. She's definitely one to watch, obviously because she's so good, but just for the atmosphere. You want to tune into her matches just to see what it's like on the court.
There's got to be like a little jealousy maybe from some of the.
Think about that for a second. Sabalenka is world number 1, a multiple Grand Slam champion, a dominant force. Yet the argument being made is not about trophies. It is about impact. It is about atmosphere. It is about who makes fans feel like missing a match would mean missing history. And increasingly, that name is Alex Eala. If you're tempted to dismiss this as exaggeration, consider what is actually happening on the ground. When Eala is scheduled at events like the Miami Open, the Australian Open, or tournaments in Doha and Dubai, attendance patterns shift. Organizers scramble to adjust. Smaller courts suddenly look like miscalculations. Crowds overflow. Security tightens. The noise level rises to something closer to a final than an early round match. That kind of reaction does not happen randomly. And here's the question that keeps surfacing behind the scenes. Are some of the established stars noticing? Because when you have spent your entire life climbing to the top of the rankings, winning titles, earning respect the traditional way, and then a young player arrives and begins commanding the loudest crowds on tour, that changes the dynamic. Querrey even hinted that some top 10 players might be feeling that subtle shift. Not resentment necessarily, but awareness. Awareness that something powerful is happening around this 19-year-old from the Philippines. And just when you think the conversation can't escalate further, analysts bring up another comparison. They point to the kind of frenzy that surrounded breakout stars on the men's side in recent seasons and say Eala's effect might be even bigger. Bigger in volume. Bigger in global reach. Bigger in emotional investment. And if you are still wondering whether this is temporary excitement or something sustainable, consider this. Her rise in the rankings is matching the momentum of her popularity. This is not a case of hype without results. This is performance aligning with presence. And that is a dangerous combination for the rest of the tour. Now pause for a moment and imagine this scenario. What happens if she captures a Grand Slam in 2025? Analysts are already floating the possibility. They are saying it would not just be a victory. It would be a cultural moment. A generational shift. The kind of breakthrough that creates millions of new fans overnight. Not just in the Philippines, not just across Asia, but globally. That kind of moment reshapes a sport. It resets expectations. It changes sponsorship dynamics. It alters tournament planning. And if you think that sounds dramatic, remember how rare it is for tennis to experience a true global surge built around a single new face. The experts pushing this narrative are not casual commentators. They understand market trends. They understand fan behavior. And they are aligning behind one conclusion: Alex Eala is more than a rising player. She is becoming an event. And before you click away thinking this is simply excitement around youth, ask yourself why respected voices are willing to stake their reputations on this claim. Because they are seeing numbers, crowds, engagement, and emotional reactions that cannot be faked. And this is only the first layer of the story. Because when fellow players start confirming what the analysts are saying, that is when it moves from theory to undeniable reality. And what one top competitor revealed about facing Eala will make this entire conversation impossible to ignore. When fellow players start echoing what analysts are saying, that is when the conversation shifts from bold opinion to undeniable reality. And that is exactly what happened when Jessica Pegula stepped forward and described her experience facing Alex Eala at the Miami Open. Pegula has played in packed stadiums. She has competed under Grand Slam pressure. She is not easily overwhelmed. Yet even she admitted she was caught off guard by what she walked into that day. The atmosphere was not just loud. It was electric. It felt different. The crowd was completely invested, riding every point, reacting to every swing, locked into Eala with an intensity that most players only experience deep in the second week of a major. Pegula didn't frame it as a complaint. She described it with a sense of amazement. She recognized that she was standing in the middle of something unusual. And that detail matters. Because when top players acknowledge that a colleague is generating a unique environment, it confirms that this isn't social media hype. It's tangible. It's happening in real time. Pegula pointed out that whether it was Melbourne, Miami, or events in the Middle East, Eala consistently drew the biggest crowds of the tournament. Not occasionally. Consistently. Fans weren't just showing up, they were arriving early, filling practice courts, lining walkways, waiting for glimpses. That kind of devotion cannot be manufactured through promotion alone. It comes from connection. And here's where the story deepens even further. When Novak Djokovic adds his voice to a discussion, it elevates everything. Djokovic is not only a multiple Grand Slam champion, he is one of the most accomplished players the sport has ever seen. When he described Eala as the greatest tennis talent the Philippines has produced, it wasn't casual praise. It was recognition. He also addressed concerns about her scheduling and court placements at certain tournaments, suggesting that perhaps the sport hasn't fully adjusted to her drawing power yet. That statement carries weight, because it implies that organizers may still be catching up to a reality that fans have already embraced. Imagine being so young, so early in your career, and already creating logistical challenges because the demand to see you play exceeds expectations. That's not common. That's transformative. And this is where analysts are tying everything together. They are separating competitive dominance from cultural impact. No one is diminishing what players like Aryna Sabalenka have achieved inside the lines. Championships matter. Rankings matter. But there is another metric in modern tennis. Who moves the needle? Who shifts attention? Who brings new audiences into the sport? On that measure, many insiders believe Alex Eala stands alone right now. The numbers at tournaments support it. Broadcast engagement supports it. The visible energy in stadiums supports it. And here's the twist that keeps viewers hooked. This might still be the beginning. Because what happens if her results catch up completely to her popularity? What happens if she strings together deep slam runs or captures one outright? Analysts have already hinted that a Grand Slam victory in 2025 would be one of the defining moments in recent tennis history. It would ripple beyond rankings. It would become a global headline, a milestone remembered for years. And if you're thinking that sounds like pressure, you're right. But pressure often reveals who truly belongs at the center of a sport's future. Right now, the conversation that Sam Querrey ignited has grown into something much bigger than one opinion. It has been validated by fellow competitors. It has been acknowledged by legends. It has been amplified by the undeniable reaction of crowds around the world. The question is no longer whether Alex Eala is attracting attention. The question is how far this wave will carry her. Is she simply the biggest draw of the moment? Or is she about to redefine what star power in women's tennis looks like for the next decade? That answer is unfolding match by match. And if the current trajectory holds, the rest of the tour may not just be competing against her forehand and backhand. They may be competing against the force of an entire movement building around her name. And that is something no ranking alone can measure.